Hello and welcome everybody to the 2021 Poker Chip Buying Guide. I am your guide today, just your guide. Ultimately, it's your preference and your tastes, which are the most important thing. So some disclosures real quick. I purchased everything that you see here in front of you, except for the bank poker chips. These were sent to me for review by Apache Poker Chips. And I would also like to thank PokerChipForum.com for providing this table topper mat. They're no longer a sponsor, but they did provide this mat for me, 2 years ago? So special thanks to PokerChipForum.com. Now, let's talk about poker chips, and I'm going to review poker chips that are available to consumers at the making of this video in 2021. Okay, so these poker chips have been around for a while, and some of them are newer than others, but they are currently available, and we'll discuss there are some limitations as to some of these chips. So I divide these into 6 categories. We have very entry-level chips. We have unicorn chips, metal slug ABS chips, china clays, ceramics. We're going to throw in a ceramic variant here, but ceramics. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, we have premium chips. And there's currently one manufacturer that's producing chips that are currently available, and we're going to discuss some options of obsolete casino chips and other things. So first, diving into the affordable entry-level chips, as I call them. These include interlocking chips, bicycle non-denomination chips, dice chips, as we call them, with no denominations or inlays. These are just very common. You can buy these used often for hundreds for the dollar, depending on, I guess, the circumstance, but they're usually very affordable. This is an okay way to start, okay? But there's not much to review here. There's the metal slug versions like this, which can be inconsistent with quality. And then there are like these bicycle chips or the interlocking plastic chips, which have no metal slug or no weight. So they are what they are, and they will do. So first thing I'm going to do is yeet these onto the floor, because those are the reasons why I started this channel in the first place, because I wasn't terribly happy with those. Now, let's dive into kind of a step up from those. Is we have these unicorn chips. The one that was really popular back a few years ago were the next gen chips. And this is kind of the same material as those. They have a nice sharp edge. So if you want to do tricks where you're required to balance the poker chip, these do an okay job. My review table here is not level, so kind of hard to do that, but you can stand these on end. They are not weighted, so there's no metal slug in here. They have a mold. It says unicorn around here. They have a little label, just a sticker label with the unicorn casino. I purchased these on Amazon, and they do the trick. I mean, they have nice sharp edges, so they feel good. I mean, they don't stack perfectly. You can see, one of those labels gets off-centered a little bit, and the whole stack just rocks back and forth. Not exactly the best for huge stacks of chips. And for the price, I can forgive that. So that's one option that you have. I'll try to show if I can find any other selections at the making of this video. I'll put pictures and prices up, all subject to prices and availability, subject to change. Next, I want to talk about the metal slug ABS chips. Representing the metal slug ABS chips are these lovely outlaw chips from Discount Poker Shop. Now, when I purchased these were a revelation, because for a long time, metal slug ABS chips had flashing around the edges from the molding process, right? So the mold just would have these sharp edges, and they would flake off. They were messy, they were sharp, they felt uncomfortable, they didn't shuffle well, they didn't stack well. The stacks aren't perfect, but they have started sanding these edges. And so these were some of the first to do that. And so I was really happy with these. These feel really good on the edges. They are a little bit heavy as they have a metal slug ABS, as they're a metal slug ABS chip. These are actually Spartan chips. So these are Spartan, these are Outlaw. So there's actually a couple in here, but a couple varieties in here. But these are very reasonable chips for the money. The only complaint that people have against these versus like a premium chip is that these don't hold their value as well. So take that for what it's worth. But just for the purpose of playing poker, these work very nicely. I'm going to actually put several pictures up of some metal slug ABS chips that I personally like and the vendors where I purchased them, where they have these sanded edges where you're going to avoid that sharp flashing edge, which I dislike. So hopefully that will help you with your decision. You don't have to limit your purchase decision to these, but these are my favorites. Just trying to help you along and to make your purchase decision. And then we move to China Clays. It seems like the China Clay vendor is Apache Poker Chips, and they sent these for review, and I'm pretty happy with them. I like, these are kind of meant as game tokens, but you can use these as poker chips, and there are other varieties where the availability, is subject to change because of demand. They feel very good. There's no metal weight in here, so unlike the ABS chips, there's no metal weight, and they have a nice texture to them. They feel similar, maybe loosely similar to a broken-in casino chip, like a real Paulson casino chip. And I like the mold, I like the look and feel and texture of the China Clay. The one thing I would advise you against, or the people who I would advise against purchasing these, are people with sensitive smell, or who are sensitive to smell, as they smell a little bit like PVC. So they kind of have that VOC PVC smell to them, which some people don't like, but they feel good and they work great when it comes to just functioning as a poker chip. Again, I'll put up a picture. And so there's, like I said, a variety available. Ultimately, it comes down to your taste, your preference, what's available, what you can afford. Sometimes it's worth checking the used markets like eBay to see what you can find. And now we move into ceramics. So my personal favorite ceramic are the Tiki Kings, which I deliberately didn't put on the table because all I do on this channel is talk about the Tiki Kings and how much I like them. So Nevada Jack is another good one. Ceramics are not made from China ceramics like you would expect, like on your plates, or like bone china, like with your grandmother's dishes, These are actually just a hard plastic. And so they do sound a little bit different than, say, a China Clay. Not sure if my microphone is going to pick up the difference, or a Metal Slug ABS chip. But these are very hard plastic. Let's do a sound test real quick. So they are a hard plastic, which proves to be very durable. The printing is across the whole face and on the edges, and so there's a variety of designs available. Nevada Jack skulls, Tiki Kings, like I said, with the others. I'm going to put up a variety of pictures of brands and different vendors of where you can buy these. They are good. I really like them. They're one of the staples, I would say, for lots of people who are playing poker. I know my family, every time I tell them we're going to play poker, they're like, the Tiki King chips, and they're excited about them. So they have good branding, they have great designs, very durable. One of the variations that you would notice is the Ascona. These are a hybrid chip. They have a sticker inlay, a sticker label, I should say, not technically an inlay, just a sticker label permanently glued in there. And it kind of gives them a unique look. You get the durability of the ceramic, and you get that nice glossy inlay. And just be careful when you're ordering Sunfly chips. They make most of their profits from shipping. So just brace yourself when you're like, oh, that looks like a good deal, very affordable. And then you look at the shipping, that's where it's going to cut into your wallet. So be advised. And finally, I would like to address the premium poker chip sector. Before we talk about the current manufacturer chips, you can get obsolete casino chips at a reasonable price, depending on where you go. I know PokerChipForum.com has a vendor, one particular vendor who does a great job acquiring obsolete casino chips and selling them to the public at a reasonable price. So definitely look into that. I know there are resellers and other vendors who will sell these, but like anything, Paulson is very popular. This one happens to be the Horseshoe Southern Indiana. And then these are some Puerto Rican Old San Juan Casino Bud Jones chips, which, if you want to learn more about obsolete casino chips, old casino chips, I would recommend going to PokerChipForum.com. They have experts that are very willing and happy to share information about these chips. I'm not that much of an expert, and I'm a pseudo collector, not super heavy into that. So if you're interested in that stuff, I'd recommend going to PokerChipForum.com and seeing what's available on the marketplace there or on eBay. Now, kind of, to me, the diamond in the rough are classic poker chips. Classic poker chips made the poker chips that were actually used on screen in rounders with KGB, right? And so they have a variety of stock poker chips available. They are a little bit pricey, but remember, these are casino quality chips weighted down with brass mixed into the material and a true inlay. This is not a sticker. This is actually a textured inlay that's stamped into the chip while it's being manufactured, not just something that was stuck on afterwards. So these are world-class, high-quality chips, and as you would expect, you can customize these, and they feel very, very nice, very premium. If you're looking for some premium custom chips, this is really the only game in town. Yeah, you can customize ceramics, but they're not going to have that same feel and the same interesting appeal that these premium chips have. Very, very lovely chips. So finally, I'm going to just step through and do a sound test on all of these, just, playing with the stacks a little bit, again, to help you make your purchase decision. We'll start on this side and work our way across, see how this works for us. The unicorn chips, Metal Slug ABS chips, China clays, ceramics, Nevada Jack skulls, ceramic hybrids, the Ascona, classic poker chips, Atlantic Club, Paulson Reverse Hat and Cane, Horseshoe, Indiana, Southern Indiana. Oh, we have some Metal Slug ABS chips that snuck in here. These were the example. I'll take a picture, but these are the example of flashing versus non-flashing Metal Slug ABS chips. We need more Southern Indiana. This is what the ones look like. I think these are secondary ones. Bud Jones. Classic, very soft material. Well, there you go. I hope that was helpful. Again, this is just an introductory guide. I have reviews on a lot of these chips, full reviews that you can go watch. And if I had to pick my top 10 poker chips that are currently available, I think I would just make another video because this video is plenty long enough. So stay tuned, subscribe. I'm going to come out with my current top 10 picks. It changes every 6 months, it seems. My current top 10 poker chips in a future video. I do have a Patreon account. I want to address this real quick. I have a Patreon account that's opened back up for general support. So unfortunately, at this stage in my life, I'm very busy. I don't have time or the means to give things out, free giveaways, or spend too much time doing live streams, AMAs, stuff like that. Hopefully in the future I will, but right now my Patreon account is open again for general support. And I need to discuss this with patrons, but I'm willing to, and I'm happy to list all my patrons in the closing credits of my videos. So let me know if you're interested in that. And, if you're on Patreon, I do a good job of trying to respond to questions and requests over there. So be sure to visit the Patreon, my Patreon account. I'll put a link in the description below. Also in my description below, you'll find my Amazon shop. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. Little disclaimers there. And finally, subscribe and hit that bell icon. It helps with analytics. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to reading your comments.